Well, the good news is we all make mistakes, and the even better news is some of these I actually just stopped doing I don't know, like last week. 1. Yo, not starting sooner, because once upon a time, I was like you. I just watched a lot of different men's lifestyle channels, and they all just told me one thing. Well, if you want your clothes to fit properly, you gotta buy better fitting clothes. But yo, I don't have the money to do that. So I just sucked it up and wore shirts that looked like tents on me, just like everybody else did. And I was like, oh well. Nothing, and I honestly mean that, nothing has done more for my confidence than learning how to tailor and wearing clothes that fit me properly. Not working out, not learning how to communicate better, nothing. All of those happened after the fact. I would bust my butt in the gym and get some pretty solid, impressive results, but then I gotta put on a t-shirt that, looks like a Glad bag, so, like, what's the point? What am I gonna do, walk around telling everybody, don't worry, I squat like 450, it's cool, I know you can't really tell, but I squat 450! BGreg55, I saw your comment, brother, and I will show you how to tailor this shirt step by step. I know, because I do a lot of talking in my videos, and the bad thing about learning how to tailor is it becomes an addiction. This shirt is giving me such bad anxiety right now because it looks awful. It might not look that bad to you, but once you start tailoring like 60 shirts, you'll wear things like this and you're like, no, 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 no. It just feels flowy and like it, really? 2, not knowing how to properly make a zigzag stitch. Now I knew how to make a zigzag stitch, yeah, but I didn't know how to properly make one. And if you have a serger sewing machine, you don't need to worry about what a zigzag stitch is. If you have a regular sewing machine, basically what a zigzag stitch does is it stops the edge of that garment from getting all frayed and going poof in the washing machine. Now don't be like me and make one of these 2 mistakes. 1, you didn't adjust your stitch length properly, so the zigzags are way too close together, and it ends up making that edge of that garment just all bunched up, and you put it on and it's ridiculously itchy. I did that one time. I tailored a pair of sweatpants and I was so pumped. I was so excited about it because I got them on Amazon for like 12 bucks and I was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm gonna try them on. They're gonna fit great. And I pulled them up and I was like, I mean, they fit well, but no. And that was because the zigzags were just too close together. Or you could do the opposite. You can make them way too far apart because your stitch length is way too long. And then what happens is, yes, it will kind of sort of work, but there's so much space in between the zigzags that it's still gonna end up fraying. 3. Oh man, not knowing how my stitch tension worked. And not only not knowing how it worked, but I never, ever, ever touched that dial a single time. I would just leave it exactly the same, whether I was tailoring a t-shirt or chinos or some denim jeans or sweatpants, it didn't matter. It stayed right there. Now, luckily, I really dodged a bullet. I got lucky because I tailored, what, 100 different garments, and I never really had any major issues, but oh boy, could I have. If you don't get your stitch tension right, you can really royally mess up your machine. It works the complete opposite of how you think it would. I thought that if you were tailoring, let's say, denim jeans, that you would want your stitch tension to be as tight as possible because that would make your new seam really, really strong. But no, it doesn't work that way. It's the opposite. You want it to be a little bit looser so that it doesn't end up pulling on itself and then just kind of getting all wavy. And I also thought that if you were tailoring a t-shirt, that you wanted your tension to be really loose because you don't really want to have a strong seam. But no, no, no! No, it doesn't work that way. Had to find that out the hard way because I was at the grocery store and I reached over my head to go grab something one time and I just hear this rip and I look down and I'm like, oh, that's because, really? This lady was standing next to me like, nice hack job on your shirt, bruh. She didn't really say that, but I thought she did in my head. 4, not measuring properly and just kind of winging it because, see, tailoring, it's actually exactly like carpentry. Measure twice or 3 times or 4 times and then cut once. I cannot tell you how many garments I have ruined because I was way too aggressive in my measuring, and then I tailor it, and then I try it on, and I'm like, that's real snug, like real snug. And then depending on how much I paid for it, I'm not gonna go and grab a seam ripper and rip all those seams out, I don't care, it was $2. When you measure and tailor, give yourself just a little bit, just a little bit of wiggle room. And by that I mean, if you think that it's gonna be a little bit too loose for your liking, that's okay. If you think that only taking 2 inches off of the side of your t-shirt isn't gonna be enough, as opposed to, let's say, 2.5 inches, start at 2 inches. And if you were right, if it's not to your liking and you end up wanting to be, let's say, a little more aggressive about it, you can go back and do that. You can go in by, let's say, 1/4 of an inch, or even 1/2 of an inch, or 1/8 of an inch, whatever it is, and you can just sew right on up right next to that seam. And then repeat all those other steps, like cutting it and putting a zigzag stitch on the edge just like you normally would, and then have at it. Then you're good. You don't need to go back and rip that seam out and start all over again. I would have saved myself so many headaches if I would have just done that. So if you don't get anything from this video, please at least take that. Just measure properly. That's all I got for you. SD out, deuces!